Okay, I'm Virginia Kunz, and I'm Virginia Pollard Kunz, the oldest child in the Pollard family. And I was born in the year 1921, so as a result, I remember all my brothers and sisters, their birthdays, the place of their births, and their entire life, all the little things that were funny and important and sad. I especially remember Theron because I was getting older when he was born. I was around 10 or 11 years old. Theron was born in Emmett, Idaho, and he was born on February 5th. I don't remember the year, but he has a record of that. He was born in a little house on the south side of Emmett, Idaho. And I remember the day very well. My brothers and sisters, no, I didn't have any sisters then. I had 2 other brothers before Theron was born. We were taken down to the neighbor's house to stay during the day while my mother was getting prepared for the big event, Theron's birth. We stayed there throughout the day, and then when they finally brought us home, I was very thrilled and delighted when I walked to my mother's bedroom, and there she had a beautiful new baby boy. And I mean, Theron was really a beautiful baby. He was very attractive as a newborn. And when I walked in the bedroom, our grandmother was holding him, and our mother was very happy that the event was over and that she had another little son. And from the very start, Theron was a very special little boy. As he grew up and got older in that little house where he was born, he showed all the appearance of being very handsome. He had curly hair and dark brown eyes and a very radiant personality. He was very energetic, and he was a lot of fun in our family. We certainly enjoyed him. We lived in that house for a while. Mother and Father were involved in church work. Father was the director of the chorus there, the choir, and Mother sang in the choir. She had a beautiful singing voice, and so she did a lot of solos in the church, in the community, and sometimes even over the radio with a trio of sisters. So I feel that Theron inherited his singing voice and some of his acting talents from our mother, because she was outgoing and she had a lot of ability to act. And so Theron kind of inherited this ability to get before the public and do these kind of things. The first time he was ever brought before the public, I have told him this story numerous times, so it's not new to him. My mother wanted to do a solo for the Relief Society. She was asked to do an entertainment number for the birthday of the Relief Society. And it was going to be for the entire ward, husbands, children, mothers, everyone. So she decided to do a number in which she was going to dress up like a Negro mammy and sing to her little baby son, that she was going to dress him up like a little pickaninny. And with his beautiful curly hair, he was all blacked up, he did the part very well. She got up and sang Kentucky Babe with him in her arms. And she made such a hit that they called her back for an encore. And so she sang the number Mighty Like a Rose. She sang this to her little son. And Theron acted like he was enjoying every minute of it in front of this big crowd. And they had such a good time up there on the stage, and they were so relaxed and did the number so well that they were called back for another encore. My mother had only prepared 2 numbers. So she grabbed a stool and set Theron on the stool, and then they drew the curtains back just long enough to show him. And Mother and Theron got a standing ovation, and that was Theron's first public appearance, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. So from that moment on, he liked to be before the public, entertaining and performing, and I believe that's the start of his career. And he has followed very well through his life in this career of singing and entertaining the public. He has a lot of talent. I've always been proud of the talent he has. Can you stop for a minute so I can think another phase of his life?
Okay.
See, I just can't go on and on. Did it stop? Well, Theron, you were one of 3 brothers in the early days of your life, and then you became one of 8 children. And I remember a lot of the things you and your brothers did together. You were always roaming around the fields and running around. You had a dog, and you were always fighting and arguing and going places together, and I guess it was fun being one of three brothers. But one big event in your life that I think you'd like to hear about is when we moved from Emmett, Idaho to Salt Lake, which was one of the biggest events in our life, because we had to go over rough roads that were dirt roads, and our father got a big trailer house to put all of our belongings in, and he pulled it behind a car. And all the way to Salt Lake, we had many breakdowns because he had flat tires, car trouble. We even had to spend the night out on the desert because Dad had to hitchhike into town to get a new part for the car that had broke down. So there we all were, parked out there in the middle of the desert with all our belongings and all of the children. And so our mother made a big fire out on the desert to keep us warm all night and to keep animals away, to keep us feeling comfortable until our father could get back to get us started again. That trip took us several days, and we thought we'd never make it. And so it was just almost like a pioneer trip across the plains. But we finally made it to our new home on 4th West in Salt Lake City, Utah, where our dad was going to become a McNess salesman here in Salt Lake. And that's where you spent most of your life, on 4th West in Salt Lake City, Utah. And there you roamed around through the fields with your brothers, and we had a big acreage of ground there, and you played all day long with your brothers out in the fields, riding the pigs, milking the cows, playing all around in the neighborhood there. At that house, that's where you began your school life. You started going to school at the age of 5 or 6, and you were always intelligent in school. I used to be the one that would go down and talk to your teachers to see how I could help you, to see how you were doing and help you make improvements. And I was always proud of the reports I got from your teacher because you were a good student and a good boy, and there was never any complaints about you. One thing, all your life, you were always busy trying to learn how to make money, because that was the way you got your spending money. You'd go out and sell things. And I remember you were always looking for a way to make money. But you always found a way somehow. You'd sell anything you could get your hands on. And it seemed like you always had money because you knew how to go out and sell. And after you graduated from the grade school, which was Blaine's school that you attended on 33rd South, then you started going over to Granite High. And you were really active in your school life there because you participated in the plays and shows and things they had. You did some stagehand work, and I think you probably did some work in some of their musicals. And one big event that I thought was one of the most important in your life was when you went up and sang the tabernacle with the tabernacle choir and the organ, a solo, because you had a good voice and you were picked to do this because you were a good singer. And I was really proud of that event in your life. Something I think that you should always remember as being a great time. And you received a lot of praise for the good work you did in singing with the tabernacle choir, that solo. Don't shut off a minute now. I always admired about you, Theron, was your sense of humor. And the whole family always enjoyed your sense of humor because you brought a lot of fun into our lives. And if anybody was depressed, you were always willing to bring some fun into our lives and have a joke or a trick or something to play on people so that the depression didn't last. You were always fun to have around because we knew that you were going to be making everybody feel good no matter what the situation. So I've always admired your sense of humor, and it's always been fun to be around you. And I'm sure that the rest of the family has enjoyed that characteristic about you too. One of the most important things that has impressed me about your life is your faith in God and the way you've conducted your life and the way you participated in your church duties as a young man and the way you've developed over the years into a fine man who trusts in God, and your belief in your religion, the way you've conducted your life has been an example to all those all around you. And you've been an example to me. And I also feel really good, the kind of brother you've been to me, because when there's been times when I've been down in my life, especially when my husband was in the service and I was alone with 2 little children, one of them being sick, and I had all this responsibility and worry on my mind, you volunteered to come to my house and babysit with the children so that I could get out for a little relaxation once in a while. And you were always the one that would call up on the phone and ask me how I was doing, and cheer me up, so that I wouldn't be as depressed or down because of my situation. And I want you to know that I thank you and admire you for taking an interest in me at that time when I needed someone. I feel like your life has been an example to others, and that you've made a good life for yourself and all those around you. I have a lot of memories of you that I won't be able to state all of them at this time, but all my memories of you have been good ones. And I do appreciate all the time you've spent with me in your life and the good things you've done for me and with me. I remember when you went in the service and you spent your time down in Arizona. We all missed you, and we were happy to see you back again. I was especially happy when you came home and married Jean. I thought that was a beautiful time in your life, and you made a lovely couple. And that's why I let you come over to my house for a honeymoon, because I thought it was lovely the way you two got married. And turn it off a minute, please. Well, I thought it was really beautiful the way you started your marriage, you and Jean. And I was happy that you did have your first night in our home, because you didn't have a place to go right then. And I think that you and Jean have built a beautiful family life together. You have a bunch of very fine children. I've enjoyed their company. I think they're all good people, and it's really fun to be acquainted with you and your family. I feel like that your family has all been an example to others. They're all strong in character and personality. They're all talented. I think you've done a beautiful job raising your family. And more power to you. I think that others could take a lot of lessons from you and your family. So it's been real fun to watch your life from the day you were born until now. And I'm really proud to be a part of your life. And I'm glad that I could be your big sister and be the one to see your entire life from the beginning till now. And I hope that you have many more years ahead of you. I hope that you will not be so busy in the future, so that you can spend more time with your family and with us and doing some of the things that you enjoy. I would like to say that I really admire the way you've made time to go on trips to Europe and take your family with you. I think this has been real important education for you and your family, and I'm sure you've had some great times on all these trips. I think it's nice the way you were able to go on that trip to the South Pacific and around to New Zealand and take your talent for the world to see. I think it's really broadened you to have all these trips and these fine interests of your talent, your singing, and your ability. I think that The King and I was a very fine milestone in your career. I really admire you that you can do all these wonderful things and still take such good care of your family, your business, your home life, your religion, and I just think you've lived a well-rounded, very fine life. The only advice I can give you is to make more time for the people that love you and not be so busy, because we all miss you when you're too busy for us. That's the only advice I can give you. But I'm really not the one to give you advice. I'm just telling you that I miss you and I'd like to see more of you and your family as well. because life's too short to give it all to just work and worry. We've all got to make time for each other. And honestly say that you're one person in my life that has done just about everything you wanted to do. Somehow you've made it possible to accomplish all the things you wanted to do. And I do know that you would like to live to be 100. And so I wish you well. And I'd like to be around to see you become 100, because that would mean I'd be 110. But if I'm not here, I still wish you the opportunity of being 100 years old. And I think it's possible, because our grandfather lived to be 97. And if he'd have just held out 2 or 3 more years, why, he'd have been 100. So you're just going to hang in there and keep on being active and doing all the things that's important in your life, and I think you'll make it to be 100. And I wish you well in the rest of your life, your career as a businessman, a father, a husband, and I certainly want to see you find time to be a brother and come around more often, because we miss you. I want to say happy birthday this year, and many, many more happy birthdays to come. And I hope that you can continue in your life doing all the things that are important to you with good health and good cheer. And I'm sure all the rest of the family wishes you the same kind of things in your life. So happy birthday, and hope I see you soon. For the whole family, when we say that we all love you and admire you and wish you many more happy birthdays. I understand it's your goal to live to be 100, and I hope and pray that you can. I would like to be around to see you be 100, because I would be 110. But in case I'm not here, I hope you reach your goal. And I think you can, because our grandfathers both lived to be in their 90s, especially Grandfather Asbury, who lived to be 97 years old. If he'd have hung on for 2 or 3 more years, why, he would have made it to 100. So you just keep up your good work, all your ambition, and the things you're doing in your life, and keep going till you're 100. You'll make it. So I want to wish you happy birthday and many more. And I'm sure that the rest of the family all wishes you the same. One person in your life that remembers your entire life from the day you were born, I can honestly say I'm very proud of the accomplishments that you and your family have made in their life. And I want to say that I do love you very much.
Getting enough light?
Yeah. Let's see, there might be some in here. Oh, now we've got. Careful you don't tear them, Kenny. Picture of him as a child, as a baby, you know, a little toddler, and then this is my most favorite picture of him as a young boy, and then that one where he's autographed it is my most favorite one of him as a grown-up person. Have you got a picture of them on their wedding day? Yeah.
Okay, if you want to talk.
You can tell, Theron, that that is the wedding picture of his mother and father. And I'd have to look in the genealogy book to see the wedding date. But it was June the 4th. I don't remember the year.
This is Dee Pollard, signing off. Thank you very much for joining us, and see you later.